My girlfriend said, "We'll test loyalty," I replied, "then I'll keep footage." Then I installed a camera, saved every clip, moved out, sent my lawyer everything, and I smiled because her trust game turned into proof that silenced her brand. Original post: I am 32. My now ex-girlfriend, Alara, is 29. No kids. We live in a mid-sized city. I work as a data analyst for a logistics company. Numbers, patterns, quiet office. Alara runs an online wellness brand with her younger sister, Maya. They sell courses about boundaries, self-love, and feminine energy. From the outside, we looked fine. Cute apartment, plants by the window, matching mugs in the kitchen. She posted soft, light photos of us making brunch. Her followers called us relationship goals. I did not answer those comments. I just went to work and came home. The first real crack was small. A bronze figurine went missing from her office shelf. It was a dancer statue her aunt gave her, not cheap but not priceless. One day it was there. The next day she said it was gone. She blamed our cleaner, Maria, right away. Maria is in her 50s. She has been cleaning for the building for years, never once had a complaint. Alara stood in the doorway while Maria held her mop. Her voice was calm but sharp. "You were the only one here," Alara said. "If you put it back now, we can forget this." Maria's eyes filled with tears. She swore she had not taken anything. She even offered to let Alara check her bag. Alara refused, said it was the principal. After Maria left, still crying, I said what I thought. "I don't think she took it." Alara crossed her arms. "You always take strangers' sides over mine." "Why don't you trust me more?" I dropped it. I went to my desk and pulled up our building's security options. Small cameras were cheap now. I ordered one that night. When it arrived, I mounted it in the living room, facing the entry and most of the shelves. I told Alara it was for security. Packages had gone missing in the lobby lately. She rolled her eyes but agreed. "Fine," she said, "but don't point it at the bathroom. I do not want to feel watched in my own home." I did not point it at the bathroom. I angled it wide. It caught the hall, the living room, and part of her office door. A week later, the figurine reappeared. I saw it when I came home from work. Same shelf, same spot, no dust ring, like it had never left. "Looks like Maria felt guilty," Alara said, sipping tea. "She probably slipped in and put it back when no one was looking." I did not argue. That night when she fell asleep, I scrubbed through the camera footage, frame by frame. No one had touched that shelf since the day I turned the camera on. No one had even walked near it except us. I sat back in my chair. My chest felt heavy. My mind stayed clear. I copied the clips, made a folder on my hard drive, named it Home Figurine. I did not confront her. I did not accuse her of lying. I just started watching more. Over the next month, Maya began coming over more. At first it was normal. Sisters talking on the couch, planning content, filming short videos. But slowly, her behavior shifted around me. Maya started brushing my arm when she passed by. She called me the patient one. She asked questions about my job that sounded more flirty than curious. Once, when Alara went to the bathroom, Maya sat closer than usual. Her knee touched mine. She did not move it right away. I made a note of it in my head and kept my face neutral. One Friday, Alara mentioned that Maya would stop by after I got home from work. "She just needs to pick up a hard drive," Alara said. "I might not be back yet, so please let her in." That evening, as I unlocked the door, I saw the tiny red light on the camera blink. Recording. I nodded to myself. Then I set my work bag down, checked that the storage card was in place, and later that night, after everyone had gone and the apartment was quiet, I sat at my desk and opened the new video file. That was my first action. Not a fight, not a speech, just hitting play. Update 1, the footage started with the door opening. Maya walked in alone, tight jeans, cropped sweater. She looked right past the camera, then glanced back like she was checking herself in a mirror. "Okay," she said, almost whispering, "he'll be here soon." A minute later, I heard Alara's voice off camera from the hallway. "Remember, keep it light," she said. "We just need to see what he does. If he leans in, we're done." Maya looked toward the sound. Are you sure about this? Men only respect boundaries when you test them, Alara said. I'm tired of guessing. The door closed. Maya walked to the couch and sat down, right in the spot where I usually sat. She adjusted the cushions, checked her hair again. She pulled out her phone, held it up, then angled it so the camera faced the couch. Test run, she mumbled. I watched her run through little poses. Sitting closer to the edge, leaning a bit like someone was next to her. Then she set the phone face down, but I could see the screen glow, recording. 15 minutes of nothing followed. Empty living room, just the quiet hum of the fridge. The clip ended. The next clip started almost an hour later. Alara's voice again off screen. Okay, I'm leaving now, she said. Text me when he gets in. Maya's face was tight, and if he doesn't do anything. Then we know he's boring, Alara said, laughing. Either way, I get answers. The door shut behind her. I paused the video. My jaw clenched. My hands did not shake. Years of looking at ugly data had trained me to handle ugly truths. Then the final clip loaded. I saw myself come in, hang my keys, and nod to Maya. We talked. Normal small talk. Work, weather, some new show. After a while, she moved closer. Put a hand on my arm. I pulled it back and stood up to get water. When I sat down again, she looked at my mouth for a long second. Then she leaned in. I leaned away at the same time, like two magnets pushing apart. Whoa, I heard my own voice say. Calm, flat, what are you doing? I thought you wanted this, she said on the recording. Alara said you were bored. Stop, I said, you need to leave. I watched myself stand up and go to the door. I opened it and held it. She hesitated, then walked out. The clip ended. There was one more. In it, Maya stood in the hallway with Alara. They were whispering. The camera caught only part of their faces. So, Alara said, did he kiss you? No, Maya said. He dodged it. He asked what I was doing. Alara swore under her breath. Fine. Then we say he tried. I'll handle it. The clip stopped. The red light on the camera turned off. That was the end. I copied every file to 3 places. External drive, cloud, work laptop. Then I slept on the couch. The next morning, Alara came back from a yoga class. Big smile, smooth voice. Hey, babe, she said, we need to talk. I made coffee, sat at the table, and waited. She stood with her arms folded. Maya told me what happened. She said you tried to kiss her yesterday. I raised one eyebrow. That's what she said. She was scared to tell me, Alara went on. She didn't want to ruin things, but I deserve the truth. Is it true? I closed my laptop. Then slowly I opened it again and mirrored the screen to the TV. The living room clips filled the screen. Their own words, their own faces. We watched in silence. The setup, the whispering, the almost kiss, my reaction, the hallway plan. Alara's face drained of color. Maya, who had come in behind her, froze in the doorway. You were recording us, Alara said at last. That's so creepy. You were recording me, I said. The difference is my camera caught the whole plan. Maya's voice was a whisper. Turn it off. I hit pause at the frame where Alara said, then we say he did. No, I said, you don't get to control the footage this time. Alara took a step forward. Her hands shook. We just wanted to see if you were loyal, she said. We weren't going to let it go too far. You tried to frame me, I said. My voice stayed calm. You lied about Maria. You lied about this. You talk about trust for a living, and you staged a fake betrayal in our own living room. She opened her mouth, closed it again. No words came out. I'm done, I said. I'll give you a list of my things. I'll be gone by tonight. Any other conversation goes through email. I picked up the external drive from the table, put it in my pocket, walked to the bedroom. Packed a bag with clothes, my laptop, and the figurine from her shelf. I left the empty spot where it had been. On my way out, I set my key on the counter. How can you leave over a test? Alara said behind me. Her voice was thin. We could work through this. I did not turn around. You didn't test me, I said. You showed me exactly who you are. Then I left. No door slam, just the soft click of the lock behind me. Update 2, I stayed at a short-term rental across town for the first week. It was small and plain but quiet. I worked. Ate simple meals. Went through the footage again. Collected dates, times, screenshots of her posts about the figurine and about toxic men in general. Day 3, my phone started buzzing, not with calls, with tags. Alara posted a long caption on her main account. The photo was a dim shot of her holding a mug and looking sad. The text said, "Sometimes the person you trust most invades your privacy and betrays your family. Healing is hard, but I choose me." She didn't use my name, but she said, "Data-obsessed ex who secretly filmed me and my sister." Her followers filled the comments with support. Some went to my old photos and wrote that I was creepy and controlling. I did not respond. I took screenshots, saved them into a new folder called defamation. 2 days later, Maria called me. Her voice shook. "Senor," she said, "people are saying online that your ex worked with a thief cleaner, that I took something. I did not, you know." "I know," I said. "I have proof. Can you meet me tomorrow?" We met at a coffee shop during my lunch break. I brought my laptop and headphones. I showed her the clip of the figurine shelf never being touched. Then I showed her the short part where Alara blamed her even after the fact. Maria covered her mouth. Her shoulders sagged. "I thought I was going to lose all my clients," she said. "Thank you. Would you let me help you more?" I asked. "If this goes legal, your name might come up. I want you protected too." She nodded. That afternoon, I booked a meeting with a lawyer who handled online harassment and small civil suits. In his office, I laid everything out: the fake theft, the loyalty test, the smear post. The comments, Maria's story. He listened without interrupting. Then he said, "You have very clean evidence. Most people do not." He drafted 2 letters, one on my behalf, one on Maria's. The letters were clear. Remove all posts that implied we were thieves or abusers. Issue a written retraction to both of us, or we would file claims for defamation and emotional distress and seek damages. We attached still frames from the footage and links to the posts. We sent the letters to Alara, to Maya, and to their brand email. The next move did not come from them. It came from their father. 2 days later, he emailed me from his business account. He suggested we settle this privately like adults. He said his daughters had made some mistakes, but also blamed me for setting traps with cameras. He offered me $5,000 if I would sign an agreement saying no harm was done and promise not to drag their family name through the mud. I forwarded the email to my lawyer. He replied to the father with one line: "All communication regarding this matter must go through counsel." Then we waited. In the background, I called the building manager and made sure Maria's job was safe. I offered to write her a detailed reference letter. He accepted. He had seen her work for years and was angry she had been blamed. Within a week, Alara's long caption vanished. Maya's matching story disappeared too. Their page went quiet for 3 days. Then they posted a generic quote about learning from our shadows. No mention of me. My lawyer sent a follow-up. This time, he laid out a possible settlement, written apologies to both me and Maria, no more posts about us, and a small payment to cover legal fees. If they refused, we would file. We never got the apology. Instead, their father called my lawyer and asked if a formal written retraction, kept private, would be enough. My lawyer said yes, if our names were cleared with the people who needed to know. I came home from work one evening and found 2 envelopes in my mailbox, one addressed to me, one to Maria. In mine, Alara and Maya admitted in writing that their posts about me were inaccurate and incomplete. They admitted they had not told their followers the full story. They agreed not to mention me online again. They signed at the bottom. Maria's letter said they had wrongfully implied she had stolen the figurine. It cleared her name in simple words. It said they had no evidence she had ever taken anything. I scanned both, saved them in my folders, sent pictures to Maria. She called me, crying again, this time from relief. By the end of that month, I had all my stuff moved out of the old apartment. My name was off the lease. My accounts were separated. The only ties left were old photos on the internet and a set of video files stored in 3 places. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I was the one in control again. Update 3, about 2 months after the breakup, Alara texted me from an unknown number. "Hey," she wrote, "it's me. Can we talk just once? No drama, I miss my friend." I let the message sit for an hour, then I replied with 4 words, "Email only, no texting." She sent a long email that night. She said she had been in therapy. She said the loyalty test had been a trauma response. She said Maya had pushed her. She said she now realized how unfair it was to accuse Maria. She used a lot of therapy language, boundaries, inner child, projection. Buried in the middle, there was one line. "Maybe when the dust settles, we could see if there's anything left between us." I reread that line twice. My chest felt empty, not angry. I wrote back, "I am glad you are in therapy. I hope it helps. For me, this relationship is over. I won't be meeting in person now or later. I wish you well." No insults, no lecture, just a final door shut. 3 days later, Maya messaged me on social media. Her profile photo was different, no longer bright. Less makeup. She wrote, "I'm sorry, I never should have gone along with that plan. Alara made me feel like I had to pick a side. I picked wrong." I did not answer. I archived the message and added a screenshot to the folder. Not as a weapon, just as a record. A week after that, Alara's mother showed up at my new building. I saw her through the lobby camera when the receptionist called up. "She says she just wants 5 minutes, he told me." "Should I send her up?" "No," I said. "Please tell her I'm not available." I watched from behind the corner as the receptionist spoke to her. She looked smaller than I remembered from holiday dinners. She left without yelling. That night, I blocked the last of their numbers and profiles. Not out of spite, out of tiredness. There was nothing left to say. From that point on, every time their names came up, it was through someone else. A friend who said their brand had taken a hit. A former client who said they didn't trust their authenticity anymore. I listened. Nodded, did not add my story. I did not need to. Life was already doing the talking for me. Final update, it has been 9 months since I walked out of that apartment. I live alone now in a smaller place closer to my office. White walls, cheap couch, 2 monitors on a simple desk. Plants that do not care what mood I am in, no cameras. I lock the door and that is enough. I heard through a mutual friend that Alara and Maya moved their business to a smaller space. Their videos get fewer comments. The tone has changed, less sure of themselves, more vague quotes about being humbled. Maria no longer cleans our old building. She now works for a law firm downtown in 2 high-end apartments. She told me they pay her on time, in full, and treat her with respect. She keeps the letter that cleared her name in a plastic sleeve in her folder, just in case. Sometimes we grab coffee on my lunch break. We talk about small things, weather, her grandkids, my boring data projects. She always asks if I am seeing anyone. I always say, not yet. I'm taking my time. The bronze figurine sits on my desk beside my monitor. I offered to give it back once. Maria shook her head and laughed. "Keep it," she said. "You earned it more than she did." I did not argue. I still have all the videos and emails stored, but I almost never look at them. They sit there like old tax records, proof that something happened. Proof that I got through it. Every now and then, someone who knows both sides asks why it ended. I keep my answer simple. I put a camera up to protect someone else, I say. It ended up protecting me. Then I go back to my screen, rows of numbers, quiet patterns. The little figurine catching the light by my keyboard. I do not feel hate. I do not feel love. I do not feel much at all when I think of Alara and her tests. What I feel is clear. I will never again stay with someone who has to trap me to see if I am on their side.